My presentation is on the organization Autism Speaks. I'm going to be talking about who they are, what they do, and if they truly speak for autistic individuals.
Autism Speaks' mission statement is to create a world where all people with autism can reach their full potential. What this means is that Autism Speaks seeks to promote acceptance and understanding of autism, improve access to healthcare and early diagnosis, support autistic individuals across their entire lifespan, advocate for laws and policies that protect disability rights, provide free educational resources for families and caregivers, fund scientific research that improves quality of life, and encourage employment and independent living programs. Some of the organization's key authorities are their board of directors and the president and CEO. Some of their responsibilities include approving budgets, setting organizational priorities, overseeing fundraising, representing Autism Speaks nationally, and ensuring accountability. Autism Speaks collaborates with over 375 different organizations. In general, these include things like children's hospitals, autism treatment centers, pediatric healthcare providers, different school systems, and many advocacy organizations, for example, the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network. This organization has many different constituents and stakeholders. Some examples are autistic individuals. They are directly affected by Autism Speaks advocacy, educational resources, and public messaging. Another example would be families. Parents and caregivers, they rely on Autism Speaks for information, support, and connection to services. Some other options are healthcare providers. So these are people like doctors, psychologists, speech therapists, occupational therapists, behavioral specialists. They all use Autism Speaks as a resource to educate families. School systems, teachers and school administrators use Autism Speaks material to support autistic students and improve inclusion. Researchers, scientists receive grants and collaborate with Autism Speaks to advance autism research. So you can understand why it would be so important that the education that Autism Speaks provides is in line with what truly helps autistic individuals. So here's where the organization starts to run into trouble. They have a lack of representation of autistic voices on their board of directors. I think it's essential to have people with a disability present and a part of the conversation when it comes to talking about the resources and education that is going to be put out by this organization. The other issue is that they are mostly children focused, so a lot of their resources and educational practices are focused on children, not adults living with autism. And then finally, their original message of curing autism. You cannot cure an over 90% genetic disability. That brings us into the realm of eugenics. So some of the strategies that Autism Speaks uses is they focus on public policy advocacy. So they work with policymakers to improve disability rights, insurance coverage, healthcare access, employment opportunities, etc. And some of the tactics that they use to get the word out about autism is they do fundraising events, advocacy day meetings with legislators, social media campaigns, educational webinars, resource libraries, etc. How the organization communicates with the public is through multiple different modalities. Some of these include their website, so they have resource guides, autism information, advocacy updates, research news, etc. They use social media, so they use things like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. to use and share educational information, promote events, highlight personal stories, advocate for policy change, and they also have some public awareness campaigns as well. So here are some of their communication issues. So a big thing is they talk about autism as something that's an epidemic. They emphasize suffering and the burden that it has on the individuals and the families, and they focus heavily on parents rather than autistic individuals, and they highlight fear and loss. They're also struggling with two competing frameworks. So they have the medical model versus the neurodiversity model. The neurodiversity model focuses on autism as a natural variation in human cognition. While support may be needed, autism itself is not inherently something to eliminate. My future recommendations for Autism Speaks are very simple. Include autistic individuals in the conversation. And finally, my communication innovation would be Autistic Voices First initiative. This is essentially a communication strategy that puts autistic individuals at the center of Autism Speaks when it comes to their public messaging, educational resources, and advocacy efforts. So the key features of this would be autistic advisory consoles, lived experience campaigns, resource-focused websites, and community collaboration sessions. And that finalizes my presentation on Autism Speaks.